That's it then, Leeds have been relegated and now it's time to give them the Kempe rebuild on Football Manager. Last week we rebuilt Southampton, today is Leeds, Sunday is Leicester. The three relegated Premier League sides are all going to have their Kempe rebuild. On Monday we built a Marcelo Bielsa murder ball 4-1-4-1. The Leeds fans love Bielsa even to this day, so it's time to use that tactic and see how far we can take Leeds in the next 5 years using Marcelo Bielsa's murder ball 4-1-4-1. What's going on there, guys? Kempe here and welcome back to another rebuild, another video on the channel, and thank you for coming back yet again. It means everything to me that you guys are coming back for these rebuilds, and I'm so thankful to every single one of you. If you can, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would mean an absolute world to me. Now, I've got the save set up. We are in 2023. Leeds have just been relegated from the Premier League. It's absolute heartbreak for Leeds. And you can see as well, if we head over to the dynamic screen, everyone, and I mean pretty much everyone, wants to leave the club. So I'm going to try and make this as realistic as possible. I like doing my rebuilds to the full realistic extent that I can. And if there's players that want to leave the club, I'll be letting them leave the club. Now, value-wise, there's some top players at the club. Brendan Aronson worth £40 million. Joe Gelhardt does not want to leave the club and certainly will be staying around this Leeds club. Joffy is loved by Leeds fans and there is strong reason for that as well. He's done very well at Sunderland in real life and even on this game file actually. 18 goals and 5 assists for Sunderland as they ended up not getting promoted either, which is a little bit heartbreak for them. But Joffy will be staying around. I imagine Geronimo Ruta will be leaving. It's going to be very difficult to keep around Willie Gnonto, but I'm going to be trying. Cisco Somerville is hopefully someone that will stay around as well. And there's also some decent players out on loan. I mean, Mateusz Bogus is a 4.5-star potential Polish midfielder playing currently in Ibiza, living at large. So maybe he's going to come back to Leeds and have a good time. And there's one more as well that I want to show you guys. His name is DJ. It's Dan James, the Pace Demon. Can he do? I think he's going to stay for this championship season. He's a little bit disappointed about us going down, but we're going to try and keep him this season. The 19 acceleration, the 19 pace. He's hopefully going to be very good for us. Now, you might not have seen the Bielsa murder ball 4-1-4-1, but this is how it sets up. It's a sweeper, keeper on defend in goal with no further instructions. A wing back on support and the right back sit narrower, no further instructions. Two ball playing defenders just in front of the keeper. On pass, it's shorter with a wing back on support on the left with stay wider. You got an anchor man in the DM role. I have explained very much of this formation. If you guys want a full explanation of how this formation works and why a few things might be missing, as in a higher defensive line, I'll tell you now. It's because you can't get it working on this year's FM, in my experience. If you want a full breakdown of a few positions that maybe aren't quite the Bielsa style, head over to the tactic video and you can find that there. That should be linked above if I've done my job. Now, the right mid is roam from position and tackle harder, inverted winger, and that is the exact same on the left wing role. And Mazzala on support is the left centre mid, dribble more, close down more, tackle harder. A box-to-box midfielder on the right with close down more and tackle harder. And an advanced forward up front and attack with roam from position and tackle harder. In possession, it is set to shorter passing, pass it into space, play out of defence, whipped crosses, work the ball into the box, be more expressive, a slightly higher tempo and fairly narrow. In transitions, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to the playmaker, the anchor man, and take short kicks. And out of possession, it's a high press system. It's triggering the press as much as possible, preventing that short goal distribution and pressing inside. We've got lots of money to spend, £15 million, £346 in the wage bill as well. I imagine we're going to get quite a lot of money from players we do end up selling, so it's going to be quite a busy summer window. The facilities here at Leeds are top class, 18 training facilities, 17 youth facilities, so it's going to be interesting to see what we can do. A lot of money in the bank, 65 million, obviously it's going to shoot up very soon from the parachute payments of being relegated, so we'll see how far we can take Leeds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the way I've been doing the rebuilds recently. I'll go forward every single year and show you guys the transfers and then the results all in the same, because you guys seem to absolutely love that. So let's get forward to the end of season number 1. Hopefully automatic promotion from the championship. If you guys can, quickly make sure as well just to like the video, subscribe to the channel and follow on all these 4 wonderful things, and also Instagram. I've also now got a Patreon, which is where this Leeds rebuild will be. You'll be able to pick it up, I believe it's £5 a month. You'll be able to pick up the rebuild save files at the end of season number 5, and if you want sort of season 3, season 2, season 4, I'll be able to send them to you individually as well. But season 5 will be automatically available for you on there. They're no longer going to be in the Discord file. The Discord is still available down in the description. You know, we just have a little banter on there. There's over 250 of you legends in there, and you also get the tactic files, etc. They are going to be not exclusive to the Patreon. Obviously, I'm not selling my tactics, just the rebuilds. They take a lot of time for me to make. And to be honest, the support has been fantastic from you guys. So I decided to just switch over to there. And now, in terms of the transfers, we've brought in £104 million in player sales. A lot of players have left the club. I've made a few calls which I think Leeds fans will not like, but we shall see. Ilya Meslier, I think, is actually quite a good goalkeeper in real life. It's an awful year, obviously, but he wants to leave the club. We're going to get £23 million for him. He's already valued at £50 million over at Hertha Berlin, but a very good keeper, but was not staying around the club. Luis Sinisterra, another player I think is fantastic in real life, was fuming that we were relegated, so he's left for £14.5 million. Sheffield United, who've just come 15th in the Premier League, which is a little bit annoying. Pascal Struijk, another player that I don't think is good enough. He's worth a little bit of money. £13 million. He's gone. Sonny Perkins is someone that I actually really wanted to keep around the club. He's a fantastic young player. He's got 4.5 star potential, but £15 million at this stage, you can't really turn that one down. Mark Rocker, again, was fuming. Obviously, he's been at Bayern Munich, you know, for like 3 or 4 years before coming to Leeds. So he's got some top standards. As he is left to go to Brighton for £8.5 million. Robin Koch has left to Verona. Patrick Bamford was already done before I got here to Mainz. Bamford probably would have stayed around and been with Joffrey as our 2 strikers this season, but he was already out the door. So don't shoot me that Bamford is gone. Diego Llorente has gone to Salzburg for £6.5 million. Tyler Roberts has gone to Freiburg. Jack Harrison has gone to Club America. Again, he just did not want to be at the club at all. He was absolutely fuming. So he has gone. Junior Firpo, again, I sort of tried to be a little bit realistic. He's obviously from Barcelona, so he has gone. And a few other players in Helder Costa, Stuart Dallas, Ian Poveda, Rodrigo, Vasilev, and Luke Ayling has gone to Real San Sebastian. Now, Luke Ayling, to be honest, I just don't like at all. And I never want to manage him. And that might be my United fan side coming out, but Luke Ayling, 32 years of age, he's not good enough. Goodbye, mate. Now, I did manage to keep hold of Willy Gnonto and Geronimo Ruta, but they were both not happy at being in the club. So I decided to make it as realistic as possible and loaned them out. So Ruta went on loan to Cologne, scored 12 goals in 21 games in the second tier of the Bundesliga. And Willy Gnonto went to Venezia in Italy and scored 20 goals in 37 games, which is very, very good. So I'm happy managed to keep hold of both of them, with them just going out on loan and, you know, not having to deal with this championship season. I was quite happy with that. Now, moving on to our transfers, we spent 38 million at 104, which I thought was very realistic, around 70 million pounds not spent. And the first signing is Tyler Bury from Millwall. He's a 23-year-old. He's from Jamaica in England. He's very, very fast. He's got good off the ball and good work rate. Good dribbling, good crossing. You can see this season in the Championship, 18 goals and 3 assists from that right mid role is fantastic. So very happy with Tyler Bury coming in. Mason Burstow is a young 6'2" striker that came in, also English and Jamaican, which is quite cool. 8 games, 16 off the bench, just scoring 1 goal and getting 1 assist. Was not a fantastic signing, and it's probably going to be sold to try and recoup that £9.5 million. Josh Tymon, a £7.5 million signing from Stoke, I believe he is. He is indeed. 43 games this season, 3 goals, 10 assists at left back. Joel Bacon was his backup, a decent young left back from Cardiff for £5 million. Ayet Muric is a fantastic goalkeeper who last season conceded 31 for Burnley, conceded just 34 this season with 19 clean sheets here at Leeds, which might give you some instinct of where we come in the league. He's a fantastic goalkeeper at 25 years of age, obviously coming through the Manchester City Academy. And Tony Springer as well was signed as a backup winger. Awful signing, didn't do anything all season. A 6.67 average rating, but it didn't stop us from coming second in the league. Now, Everton absolutely stormed it. I couldn't control. I managed to basically find a save file where Leeds were relegated. Forest and Everton also relegated, and Everton absolutely stormed the league with Wayne Rooney in charge, scoring 107 points and 39 goals from Calvert-Lewin in the Championship. So we'll take it. We come second. It's not first place. And literally as well, Nottingham Forest and Blackburn both on 90 points. On the last day, we pipped second place. So just by 1 point is very good to see. It's nice to be back in the league. And you can see the bottom as well. Top goal scorer, Joel Geltart. He had a great season. 20 goals and 3 assists for him. Tyler Bury with 18 goals, 3 assists. Dan James, he's championship level, isn't he? Let's be honest. 14 goals and 6 assists. Cisco Somerville with 9 goals, 8 assists in 28 games. Maxi Verba ended up staying around, 8 goals, 1 assist. Brendan Aronson stayed around as well, 4 goals and 10 assists. Josh Tyman, Mateus Bogus, Tyler Adams stayed around. He's the captain of the club, so I thought it would be realistic that he would actually end up staying. Obviously, he's had some game time in America, come over to Germany and played 75 games for Leipzig, and he's a very, very good player, but he's the captain, so I decided to keep him around. Charlie Creswell, fantastic young player online at Millwall in real life, played 38 games for us this season, doing very, very well. Burstow not doing too well at all. Jamie Shackleton, another fantastic young player, stayed at the club, 42 games this season. Liam Cooper, 23 games, 18 off the bench as well. 32-year-old, he's Leeds through and through. He is now gone to go and join Sassuolo in Italy, which is quite nice for him. Rasmus Christensen stayed around as well, 38 games in the Championship. Come from Salzburg, so thought he maybe not be pushing for a move quite as much as some of the others. Archie Gray played 28 games on the bench. Again, fantastic talent on him, 5-star potential. Hjelde is a very good young Norwegian centre-back as well that I've had an eye on for quite a few years. Cody Drama, quite a lot of talk about him. Literally today as I record this about whether he's going to be going to Luton on a permanent or staying with Leeds in the Championship. He looks very good. Played 10 games, 26 off the bench for us. Joel Bagan doing alright, and Muric as well with 47 appearances. So we are promoted. We are back in the Premier League. We're back in the big time. The first time of asking is fantastic to see. £47 million to spend, £600,000 in wage budget, and the finances look beautiful. We've got no debt. We've got overall balance of 58 million. It's stunning to see. Now, the club vision, obviously, they want us to avoid relegation from the Premier League next season. Hopefully, we can do that. And especially as well, as there's some fantastic young players coming through the academy. We've still got Nonto to come back in. We've got Ruta to come back in. The Mateo Josef is a young Spanish striker. Fantastic potential. Sam Greenwood, I don't think's ever going to actually make it for us. He's not as good as Joel Geltart, and I can't have Joel Geltart, him, and Nonto, so he's probably end up leaving eventually. And some more great potential. Adam Bowden, young fullback, looks very, very good. The academy here is it 17, now 16. So some very good young players are going to be coming through this Leeds team. But now is where we get to go back on the full rebuild. 4 seasons. How far can we get in the Premier League? Let's go to season number 2. I'll show you the transfers and how we done in the first season in the Premier League. First of all, I am buzzing the fact we managed to keep Willie Nonto at the club. 25 goals in the Premier League this season and 5 assists is exactly why I did not want to sell Willie Nonto. We managed to stay, we managed to keep him happy, and he's now going to be a Leeds legend. First season in the Premier League, he done fantastic. Now, the other signings and sales that have been made, not too many sales. In fact, no sales pretty much of main players, which is interesting to see, but a lot more money has been spent. Now, some of this is from last season, some from this season. The first signing, a bit of a weird one, but again, quite realistic in my opinion. Harrison Reed from Fulham. Now, this guy has been fantastic for Fulham this season in that centre mid role, and I thought, why not bring him in to Leeds? £15 million, I think is what he spent for him, which is quite a lot. I'll give you that. I've got no idea why these 3 are showing there. The game keeps bugging like that recently, but he played 32 games for us in the Premier League. Done very well as well indeed. As a box-to-box midfielder, this guy is brilliant. Even as an anchorman in defend as well, covering off Tyler Adams. Fantastic. Great signing at 30 years of age as well. Adds a bit of steel, adds a little bit of fight. He's got 17 work rate, 17 teamwork. So he is brilliant for a Marcelo Bielsa system. Next signing we have made is Scott McKenna. 1.6 million from Luton. They obviously signed him from Nottingham Forest after being promoted. He come in this season as a backup, 17 appearances, decent older centre-back. Again, little bit of experience on him. Next signing is Mikael Damsgaard. We went big on this one. Brentford were relegated into the Championship, so Mikael Damsgaard came in for £40 million. It's showing the weird same 3 clubs again, but 3 goals and 7 assists in the Premier League for us is very, very good. And I'm very happy with the signing of Damsgaard. Fantastic young talent. Amazing for Denmark in the World Cups recently. So he is in as well. A big signing as well, that one. Maxi Cornet, £17 million from West Ham. He's a very good backup winger. And that is it. But Maxi Cornet as well, £17 million. Let's just get into him a little bit. Didn't play too much for us. We spent quite a lot on him. 12 games, 17 appearances off the bench. Just 1 goal and 1 assist is not good enough. But we'll see how far it got us. It got us to 10th in the Premier League, which I'm very happy with. And Nonto comes 3rd in the top goal scorers list. Arsenal have Osimhen. City have Haaland. We have Willy Nonto. And that's very, very good for us because we've got someone that can carry us through the hard times. I mean, to show you, he scored 25 goals, 5 assists this season. The next best was Dan James, who somehow played 35 games in the Premier League. I will never know. 8 goals, 8 assists. Tyler Adams getting 5 goals, 8 assists. Shackleton still at the club doing bits as well. Ashley Phillips is another centre-back we did sign on the next page. £15 million. This guy is always a little bit hit and miss on my saves. Sometimes he's a wonder kid. Sometimes he's a championship level centre-back. It seems like this one, he's an absolute demon. So we brought him in for £15.5 million. Verba is doing very well as well. Christensen, Timon, Adams, Dan James playing the majority of games. Harrison Reed, Brendan Aronson, no goals but 6 assists this season. Damsgaard from the left doing very well. Clayton, Drame, McKenna, Creswell, Bagan as the backup defence. Bogus, Tyler Burry, Shackleton, Gray, Somerville are the backup midfielders, with Joffy as the backup striker and Cornet as the backup everything really. Winger, midfielder, striker. He could do it all. But 10th place in the Premier League, very happy to see. 5th round in the FA Cup, a little bit disappointing. 3rd round in the Carabao Cup, a little bit disappointing. Season 3, how can we do? We've got lots of money yet again. I mean, the money is pretty much gone, but we've got 46 million to spend, which hopefully we can spend very wisely. So let's go forward. Season 3, can we break into Europe? Well, breaking into Europe was the plan, and it's not quite how it went. To be honest, you can see from the graph, we actually had a very good spell in the middle of the season, sitting in 4th, 5th side in the Premier League, but eventually it tailed off to where we were 13th in the space of 2 or 3 weeks, which probably shows how close this season has been. And we ended up finishing in 13th as well, 51 points. I think it's the exact same as last season, but just 8 points off Europa Conference League space. It's been a tough year. I mean, there's a clear winner in this league. Liverpool, 88 points, 19 points clear of Manchester City. So, quite a tough league. The rest is all very, very tight. I mean, you've got the bottom 2 of Burnley and Fulham who did absolutely shocking. Villa and Brentford were then a mile off. Wolves, Bournemouth, and then pretty much right up to 8th place. So, quite a competitive Premier League season. In terms of transfers for this season, we've got 54 million spend next season, but we've brought in Ben Godfrey for 13 million from Sheffield United. Very good English ball playing defender. Top talent, just needs to rediscover his form in real life. Javo Darussalan as well, a very good young Dutch winger, has come in. In terms of sales, Ruta was sold to Bordeaux as have a place for him in the squad. Seiko Fofana, fantastic midfielder. Anyone who plays FIFA, eFootball, you'll love this guy. He's fantastic on them games. So he's come in on this one, got 3 goals, 5 assists as a box-to-box midfielder on a free contract from RC Lens. Very good signing. Jed Spencer's come in as well. 0 goals, 0 assists. Not a very good season, to be honest. We paid £30 million for him. So a little bit disappointed in Jed Spencer. Maybe looking to improve that right-back position already. And then our first region we have signed is Nunzio Sangiali. Is a young Italian goalkeeper from Cagliari. Played a few games in the Serie A last season. Is going to be a backup to Muric for us. A few more sales of 47 million. Namely Rasmus Christensen for 23, which is why we ended up signing Jed Spence. Sam Green has left the club for 9 million. Lewis Bate has left the club for 5 million. After a few years of being a backup here, he has now left. He's on a loan at Reading, a loan at Salento, and now he's gone to Salento. So we've lost Lewis Bate, but to be honest, didn't quite live up to his potential. Tyler Bury of our first season did very, very well. He's left to go to La Liga, and to be honest, played 31 games in La Liga. Have got relegated, but decent season for him. I think if you offered them that now in real life, they'd bite your hand off. Burstow's left to go to West Brom. Maxi Verba's left to go to Lejanes for 2.3 million. I don't know why we sold him. It's left my head. Probably replaced him. We did replace him, I think. Did we? Ben Godfrey. That's why we replaced him. 2.3 million is quite poor, though, to be honest, in terms of getting money back for him. But we move on. We've got lots of money in the bank. Top performance this season. Obviously, not Mateus. Obviously, Joffrey with 5 games, 9 goals is decent. Where is Willie Gnonto? He had a shocker season, 14 goals, a 6.74 average rating. That needs to be picked up, Gnonto. 39 games. Let's hope he does better this season. No one really consistently above the 7 rating. Adams played 36 games, 6.96. So he was our best performer this season. Again, development centre, there's some decent young players. It's sort of tailing off a little bit. This 16 youth facilities aren't really getting us too much top talent, so hopefully eventually we do get Kazam come through. Season 4 is going to need to be a big year because I want to finish this in the Champions League. So currently 13th, let's go ahead to season number 4. Can we get into Europe? Yes, we can. We ended up coming in 6th place, clear of any sort of doubt of getting into the Europa League. 3 points clear of Spurs is fantastic. It's us and Crystal Palace. United come 11th, getting Europa Conference League. 12th place Leicester getting Europa League, so they must have won the FA Cup. United have won the Carabao Cup, which means 9 teams next season are going to be in the European competitions for England, which is fantastic to see, to be honest. A bit of English dominance in football was lovely. Wales obviously coming in 6th place is very good. 10 points off of that top 5, with 5th place now getting a Champions League position. That was Newcastle, Chelsea in 4th, City, Liverpool, Arsenal doing very well in this version of simulation. Them and 11 Liverpool dominating. Haaland might score 40 goals, twice as many as our boy Willie Gnonto, but he's not lifted any trophies, which is fantastic for me to see. Makes me laugh just a little bit. Gnonto, 23 goals, 4 assists, a 7.08, a much better season this season. The other transfers we made to get us up to the mark, starting off with Carl Walker-Peters, £28 million, rising to 35, a much better defensive right back than Jed Spence. That is why he has come in. 6.87 rating is quite good as well. So happy with that signing. Anthony Patterson, the Sunderland goalkeeper in real life, has moved to Southampton in our save, and then we've poached him from there. 54 goals conceded overall this season isn't too bad, just 46 in the Premier League, just over a goal a game, but a very good English goalkeeper. £20 million, not a bad signing whatsoever, and he is now going to be our main goalkeeper because Muric has left to Borussia Dortmund for £9 million, and you can imagine he didn't want to turn that one down. He's played 9 games in the Champions League, 31 in the Bundesliga, so fair enough, we had to replace him. And one signing that was massive, the cover star, Noni Madueke. Now, we spent a solid £45 million on this man. He's come in 11 goals, 9 assists. He is going to be pivotal to us if we can do well in the Europa League and hopefully get into the Champions League, finishing them top 4/5 positions. Jurgen Eckelkamp as well, an unbelievable free signing from Antwerp. This guy is unbelievable. 38 games this season, 2 goals, 8 assists, but a 7.11 average rating is fantastic. And Sergio Gomez as well, the forgotten man at Manchester City. How did he get a Premier League medal? I've got no idea. I've not seen him play all season, but he's done quite well for us. 31 games, 5 goals, 7 assists from left back is lovely to see. Was there any sales on there of no other than Muric? There was not, which means the squad is looking very similar to how it has been. We'll show it in the tactics screen because it's quite nice to see. It's Patterson in goal. It's Walker-Peters, Phillips and Godfrey with Gomez at left back. It's a nice 4 out of 5 English core there in the defence, which is quite a realistic thing, I suppose. Adams in DM, still here as the captain of the club. Madueke out on the right. Fofana and Eckelkamp in midfield is superb. Damsgaard on the left, Gnonto up front. Still keeping some fantastic Leeds youth as well. We've got Saginelli, Jed Spence, Brendan Aronson, Joel Geltart, Charlie Creswell, Harrison Reed, Max Cornet, Josh Tymon, De Roussillon, Francisco Somerville, Scott McKenna, Archie Gray and Cody Drameh are still around and still very good backups for this sort of level of club. They're playing a decent amount of games, when Harrison Reed's still getting 20 games. Scott McKenna's getting 30 overall. Brendan Aronson played 40 games this season, to be honest, replacing Seiko Fofana. It was probably more likely Aronson and Eckelkamp in midfield, which is interesting. Very attacking, a lot of energy, which is exactly what you need in a Marcelo Bielsa system. In 15 work rate and 14 work rate between the two of them is wonderful to see. Gnonto is scoring the goals. The wingers are now also Damsgaard scoring 14 this season. Madueke getting 11. They are doing much more positive in terms of goals scored. We are now well above average on 1.92 and above average on conceding as well, just 1.21. It's lovely to see. Now, Development Centre, still not kicking out any supreme talent, is really annoying. We've still got a good, nice amount of money in the bank. They want us to reach the later stages of the Europa League. They want us to finish mid-table in the Premier League. Well, I'm going for a top 4 finish and a trophy, because we need a trophy. We got semi-finaled by Arsenal in this one. So a trophy and Champions League. I'm asking for a lot. Let's see what we can do transfers-wise. Then I'll reveal the big deal. Did we manage to secure Champions League in just 5 years from the Championship? Just before I do reveal if we got Champions League football and the signings we made, can you make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel? And also, obviously, if you do want to pick up from this end of Season 5 point, come over to the Patreon as well and just help support me over there. There is one person that's done it so far. Brandon, you're an absolute legend. Massive shout out to Brandon. And also, once we get sort of a few names that I can put on the screen, they'll be coming down the screen at this sort of point in the video as well. So if you want your name in the video and you want to support me and you want to also get these rebuild fires, head over to the Patreon. Now we've got a Europa League final against Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to try and remember to blur the score out at the top. We've got Ekelkamp in midfield. He finds Ivan Susic. He finds Geldhart. And he makes it 1-0 to Leeds. Joe Geldhart scoring in the Europa League final against Borussia Dortmund. Noni Madueke on the ball. Finds Ekelkamp. Plays it in behind to Ivan Susic again. Sets it back to Geldhart. And he grabs a brace for Leeds United. It's 2-0 in 29 minutes. Schlotterbeck picks up the ball. High press in midfield. They do manage to break through that. Bino Gittins, a fantastic ball to Henrique Araujo, who we know from recent saves is fantastic. Who makes it 2-1. Now Dortmund on the ball again. It's Brahim Diaz, a fantastic talent again on this game. Driving into the box. Finds Scovolson at the back. And it's 2-2. Is it going to be heartbreak? It's Dortmund again. It's Schlotterbeck on the ball. 68th minute now. Long ball over the top. Henrique Araujo is here to break our hearts. Patterson saves it, but it does end up in the back of the net. There's another highlight. It's Sergio Gomez. Whips it in. Ashley Phillips at the back post. It's 3-3. Can we grab a late winner? It's Sergio Gomez. He whips it in. It's Ashley Phillips again. And Leeds are Europa League champions against Borussia Dortmund. A 4-3 victory. 57% possession. A better XG. A brace from Joe Geldhart. A brace from Ashley Phillips. 2 English lads as well, helping Leeds lift a Europa League trophy. And we also come in 8th place as well. So we would have been back in Europe. Just 5 points off of Champions League football. But that doesn't matter because they've got it through lifting a trophy. And it's a fantastic trophy to lift as well. So we're leaving you in a great position. In terms of the transfers we did end up making this season, there was some absolute bangers, I can't lie. Number 1 is this guy. He's an unbelievable regent. Roland Nsakala from France, signed from Lyon. He was a bit expensive. We went a little bit overboard, £51 million. But what a talent he is. He's already wanted by Real Madrid, and you can see why. I mean, he's got absolutely everything, and he suits this sort of Leeds team to an absolute T. Mark Gahey come in, £50 million. He should have the defence and is fantastic. Him and Phillips at the back is stunning. Alberto Hoyos is another young player. Again, very good. Probably going to maybe replace Noni Madueke in your save. Played 41 games overall this season. Fantastic talent. Unbelievable signing. And Luka Ivan Swajevic as well, who you would have seen in that. He's played 8 games, 22 assists, 22 off the bench, 1 goal, 3 assists. Didn't play too much, but a free signing. And the squad is very good. Patterson, Peters, Godfrey, Gahey, Gomez, Nsakala, Madueke, Ekelkamp, Aronson, Damsgaard and Nonto. There's talent littered throughout the squad. The club info, we've got 16 youth facilities, 17 training facilities, lots of money in the bank. We're now in the Champions League. How far can you take Leeds? Make sure to come over to the Patreon if you do want to take Leeds any further. Make sure to like the video as well. Join the Discord. Sub on everything you can. I mean, Instagram, follow, Twitter, follow, subscribe on YouTube. And I'll speak to you next time.